Ladies and gentlemen, I am the War Boss Squee, and we are once again playing Pillars of Eternity after a rather nasty fight in which my new friend Heodin here got wounded. As you can see down here, he does have the bruised ribs, -4 to Constitution. And I'm still suffering from the strange illness known as the rumbling rot. So basically, I have the shits. And of course, we have Kaliska. Now, this is actually going to be the second time I've done this area. Reason being is that I actually recorded 2 episodes. I was actually like 3 or 4 episodes up on my queue. And then I realized that I didn't have any sound. Thankfully, the game does a very good job of saving pretty much fucking everywhere, which is really nice. So I am happy about that. So I haven't really lost all that much progress, but it does mean that some of the surprises, well, they're not going to be surprises.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
Alright, so what happened out there? Windstorm, of a kind they only get in Glanfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glanfathan word is Baewek. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Well, concerning what's going to come, debatable. So who attacked us? Glanfathans. Those be the hut dwellers Odema warned you about. Look to be Fangs of Gallowayne, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Odema. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. The Galfathan said we trespassed in the ruins. I don't believe that. Odema would never allow it, but as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glanfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. And what about everyone else in our caravan? The wheels got hold of them now. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives. And you don't seem too upset about all this. Kaliska looks you in the eye, a volatile current running beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. Maybe I've seen worse, too. Seen worse and kept on walking because there's nothing else to be done and because there's people out there who... There's other people you care about who still need you. Sorry, I read this a lot better the first time through. Anyway, let's get going. Hayden takes a step forward and his knee buckles, and before anyone can catch him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheeks striking the time-worn cobbles. On unsteady legs, he claws his way up to the wall and back to his feet, but his stance is shaky, like a sailor walking on land after a time at sea.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. It seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathans were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
That's true,
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Alright, so this is one of the branching paths that the game presents you. Now, I've already done one, which is option 1, where we got to take the risk and let him rest. We need all 3 of us at full strength. If you do that, she ditches you and she steals some stuff from you, but she winds up catching a trap and getting killed anyway. So, not a big loss. But this time, I want to take the second option. Kaliska's right, we have to press on. We don't know what we're up against, because I'd like to see what happens.
I'll do my best.
Alright. Sorry, bud. But I would prefer to have all 3 of you guys available. If at all possible. Now, I have a bow. We're going to give it to him. Yeah, I'll just take this now. Oh, I had to use up my second spear. Because my first one I used when I actually threw it at the Glanfathan that was wrestling with Hayden. So that weapon was actually lost, which is a nice little turn of events. Oh, crap, I gotta make sure I actually click on that. Okay, good. Yeah, one of the things I did when I was playing was I actually learned how to use certain features.
They'll never know I'm here.
And if you want to spot
Someone
the
else has
hidden
been here.
things...
We should move.
Wonder who was here, see if they left anything useful behind. Now, Hayden is a rogue, which means he might actually be able to spot stuff. So I have a mace here, which is 13 to 18 crush damage versus my 13 to 18 pierce damage. It's average speed, so it's pretty much the exact same thing as what I have. This has, it reduces damage reduction, which is kind of cool. We have a chisel and hammer and some more camping supplies. Just going to dump all that in the stash. Here we've got a small shield and an additional torch. Hold on to that. Hayden, you want to see if there's anything sneaky around here we should be getting? Guess not. Now, one of the cool things, and this is something that Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale did, so I decided to test it out, see if it works. If you hold the right mouse button down when you're moving the cursor, you can actually set up your formation and how you want them set up. So like that, or I can go like this and maneuver around to this way. Which, in a game that's all about combat facing and basically micromanaging, it's a really cool little trick to do. I want to say Neverwinter Nights did that as well, but don't quote me on that. It's been a very long while since I've played that game. And I honestly never beat the second one. It was just a little bit too buggy. But it was an Obsidian game. What do you expect? Let's search around here. Nothing of note so far. Okay, scouting mode is used both for stealth and for finding hidden objects like traps and secret containers. When scouting, your character's selection circles will start to fill with yellow when a character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills with yellow, the character will be suspicious and move to investigate when the circle fills red. So if I bounce back out of here, I'm not spotted.
How can I help?
Okay, so he has his AI turned on. Class behavior, aggressive, defend self. Save that.
What you need?
Class behavior, aggressive, defend self. And the same thing for you. Just so this way they don't act like complete flippin' morons if I forget to click on somebody. Which has been known to happen in the past. Like right now you can see the yellow's filling up. That's okay though. Let's get your bow out, buddy. It's a Zarup. Huh. As a trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show beneath its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zarup. I don't know what that is, but whatever. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. Apparently it has not been doing well in this cave system. It's okay, I won't hurt you, even though I just tried to shoot you. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Raise your arms and stand still. And the same thing. So back away slowly. Now are we gonna ignore the fact that I just tried to shoot you? I think we are. So let's get in position and see what he does. Nope, he didn't like that a damn bit. That's okay though. Well, to be fair, he did start that fight. So we've got a Zurup Spear, which is the same as what I've got, and a medium heater shield. Nothing really all that impressive. Okay, anything around here? Oh, you got something right here. Got a hunting bow and some more lockpicks, which are always useful. Matter of fact, I should really put those lockpicks. And where the hell are they? Here we go. And with those, your ability to do things is based off of your skill rating, like mechanics. Traps and locks can be a problem for even the toughest adventurers, draining their resources and maiming or killing those who are unfortunate enough to trigger an unseen floor plate. The mechanics skill makes it easier to open locks and find and disable traps. Additionally, any character can use a mechanics skill to place traps of their own. The higher the mechanics skill, the more accurate the trap. Conversations, script, and interactions, mechanics can be used to activate or disable a variety of machines, which is very cool. And if we go to lockpicks, the slender steel tools can be used to assist in opening a variety of locks. If a lock is slightly outside the range of a picker's expertise, some lockpicks may be sacrificed in the process of opening it. They're basically like bonus ranks that will be used up and gone once you're done using it. And we have a looter here.
Wait, do you hear that?
And he had a crossbow, leather armor, an Ingwithan relief gem, a torch, and a tattered journal. The tattered journal. The small folio is torn in several places and blood is soaked into several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got my hands on a genuine Ingwithan artifact. The fellow who had it said it was a pretty nothing as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to Salant Liss in the morning. Then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. So, this brilliant blue gem has been sculpted to look like an eye. He won a treasure in a card game and decided to go try his fortune. I'm sure that in no way bit him in the ass. Oh. Let's back up a second here. Scolder Whelp. A little spectral pig. You know, honestly, I think we could probably take it out.
Let's go.
Nice. Now, one thing I do love about this game, your endurance comes back no problem. So what do you have? We're taking an ear. Now, I want to see something here. Go to the beginning of this little combat. Yep, Blinding Strike raises the Skulled Whelp for 15 pierce damage with a sneak attack, but misses the additional effect. It's kind of cool. So, you can sneak attack with a ranged weapon, which is useful. Keep your rogue in the back, especially this rogue who's missing some hit points.
I might be able to break through here if I were feeling better.
Yeah, it's okay, pal. A hatchet, utterly useless. So here we have one of our little choose our own adventure games. A crack runs along this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through it. Push on the wall. Despite the damage, the stone looks heavy and solid. Send Kaska. Kaliska pushes with all her might, and the cracks begin to spread. Once finally the ancient masonry gives way, the wall crashes down, revealing a circular room ahead. Now, I could have also used the hammer and chisel, or if Hader was in better shape, he might have been able to do something as well. I'm not positive what he would have done, though.
Be quiet. I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
Which
How
is
can I help?
a really good idea. As we have Skulder. There's another one around here. I can't remember. There he is. Over there. Okay, let's get our formation
Yeah.
back in place.
Let's go. Let's go.
So she got stunned for a second. There we go. Really helps if you have multiple combatants here. And neither of you guys are lootable. I can't collect your ears. That's a shame. Now, the thing I like about this game is that your branching paths actually do make a difference.
Fresh air in here. I think we found an exit. Sounds like the storm pass, too.
Alright, a couple spiders real quick. No big deal. Let's see if the AI... Yep, it's doing exactly what it should do. And Kaliska used a knockdown. I boosted my accuracy. Now, if we look over here, these are the traps that we went around. The funny thing is that we actually want to go all the way back here now. Because there's a treasure. And never ever turn down the opportunity for treasure, even when your life's on the line. Actually, you know, let's speed this up a bit.
Those tiles look suspicious. Let's be careful.
It's funny she says that since that's what killed her. Let's double check our map real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, this is where we want to go. Cool. One thing I do like, you can sneak in fast mode. Although, to be blatantly honest, it's really not a great idea.
Just like the tiles.
Yeah, so a symbol of a pattern of circles inscribed on this pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit if you had the means. If you're a fire godlike, which is an option I did not take because I like the ability to wear hats, you can just basically use your inner fire, set it up, or you can use a torch, which Kaliska has. And apparently, we're just going to pretend that he has one too, even though it's in the stash. This mural must be ancient, yet the colors are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Engwithians, God damn it, from all the Kith races, Aruma, Elf, Orlan, Dwarf, and Human. They walk among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one topped with a flame. So that's your hint on how to get through the room. Now,
I'll be quiet.
is there anything around here of interest? I know there is something in the other room, which is really cool, but I didn't know if there was anything around here. Now let's kick off the fast speed. I don't quite like it that much when I'm sneaking around. Really great way to run directly into an ambush, stealth or no stealth. Lesser black ooze. Two of them.
Let's go.
These things get damage reduction 7. It's kind of annoying, but whatever.
Let's go.
And I think he's no, he can't stealth into combat. Alright, so we get one pole axe, which is cool. And some ooze plasma, which is worth 14 copper pieces. Might also be useful for a crafting reagent, but don't quote me on that. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Muck on the wall.
Viscous and oily, this muck clings to anything it touches. A viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Now, we do have a water skin that we picked up in the last episode, so use it to clean off the ooze. You rinse the ooze away, revealing intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of his head, From the tight curls of hair to the ridges of his pointed ears still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. Unfortunately, we have a gem that fits that bill. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way, and we've lost an item, the Ingwithan Relief Gem.
They'll never know I'm here.
Alright. And there's an ooze.
Let's go!
And he actually got the sneak attack on that. What are they immune to? That's what I'm curious about. Let's take a look real quick. Something said he was immune. Alright, what are you immune to, you nasty little buggers? You know, it doesn't seem to say. Huh. Weird. Yeah, no idea. And we have an urn here that has ourselves a lovely cloak of protection. Goes to you. We've got an amethyst, which is worth another 10 copper pieces. And an adra, which is worth 3. Okay, so let's take a look at our new lovely find. Minor cloak of protection. Properties +5 fortitude save, +5 reflex save, and +5 will save. Very, very nice. Valued at 310 copper pieces. Capes and cloaks can be worn for protection from the elements and from prying eyes alike. Many are woven with spells to provide additional defense or abilities, which is awesome. And he's actually got a cloak. I do love that so. I love games that actually distinguish what you're wearing and put it on your character. So one of the things I think that is missing from the current kind of video games, they do such a big job of making your character unique and giving them a very specific level of detail that in some ways it almost feels like there's no room for customization. Oh. Trapped, disarmed. Oh, I get experience for that.
Worth a look.
Oh, yes, please. I did not know that was worth experience. Yeah, I'm just going to do this real quick. Costs him nothing to disarm the traps. He doesn't even need the lockpicks. 45 experience apiece. I think I've got about 250 so far.
Worth a look.
Alrighty. Very good, Hayden. Now I kind of wish I hadn't let the braziers in, could just get all those traps, but it's a minor thing, really. Let's get our fast mode back on. I don't know if there's anything in here. We've got... That's a really big goddamn spider.
Let's go.
Famished spear spider. Well, I think he's about dead. There we go. One thing I do like about the AI, it will not use consumables unless you tell it to. Although they will cast spells if they're available, which... that's snazzy. So we got here. We've got... Bats as large as chickens are strung up in the webs. That's absolutely horrible. Alright, we've got a rapier, which is a fast weapon, 10 to 15 pierce damage, and it's accurate 1, which means it's +5 accuracy, which is awesome. And a bloodstone. So we're going to give you the rapier. And how much is this bloodstone worth? 25 copper pieces. Lovely.
Stay quiet.
Just in case there's anything else around here I might want or can possibly find. So, as I said last episode, This game was a gift from a subscriber and a friend by the name of Stray Inu. And unfortunately, my friend broke his arm yesterday. He's going to be out of work for a little while, so anybody who's watching this, please put out a prayer for my buddy Brian for being dumb. Still love you, buddy, but I just don't know what the hell you were thinking. Alright, I will actually take the loss of damage for a faster attack speed. In this particular instance. So. I was watching Christopher Odd play this game, and he didn't finish the series. A little bit disappointed. I love watching the guy play stuff. But he was trying to have a rogue as a frontline fighter, and it just didn't work out for him. Older robed man. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature. I always have trouble with that word.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
Not a goddamn idea what this guy's talking about.
Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
Yeah, something tells me these guys aren't going to be getting virgins in the afterlife. No idea what the hell happened. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you're knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away in the black unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you've just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours, and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they're all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or... At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick gray beard and ceremonial robe, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while appearing not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. That's all she wrote. And this is why I wasn't so worried about Hayden, unfortunately. You awaken to find that your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no signs of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be a dangerous one to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place. Flesh and blood will be replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Now, this is now letting us know that our character has become fatigued, which means that he takes certain penalties to action, speed, and endurance. Heoden and Kaliska lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death, which sucks. I like them both. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. And we've leveled up. Sorry guys, I want your stuff. Battle axe, scale mail, or scale armor, not scale mail. And the torch goes in the stash. And the hunting bow, 2 daggers, leather armor, and some more lockpicks, which I will actually put there. Now let's level us up real quick. So I get 6 points, and it takes a certain amount of points per level. So obviously 1 point to advance to the first rank, 2 to advance to the second, and 3 to advance to the third. That would be all of my points. I think I like Arutha with a rapier. The character he's named after also uses the rapier. Also, bonus points if you know who I'm talking about. Betting a lot of people don't. So, athletics is good. I'll take that up a notch. And mechanics is good. Survival is really good. And I'll put a point in stealth. Now, your unused points will carry over, which is really important because once you get to certain ranks, you're going to need more points, basically. Now, we have a variety of new talents that we can pick up. Some are class-based, like I can get rapid recovery, which the fighter already has. I don't know if I can double up on this. I think I can. Now, boost the fighter's hardiness, increasing the rate of his or her constant recovery. So, okay, that one does boost it up a bit. Acolyte's Radiance. Nuanced faith in the gods has allowed this character to unleash a wave of spiritual energy similar to a priest's holy radiance. They're not the full abilities that the other classes get, but they are a bit of a pale comparison. So we can get stuff that goes with, that's a fighter ability, priest ability, rogue ability. Aspirant's Mark is a ranger ability, I think. Nope, druid ability. Enigma's Charm is for a cipher. That's for the paladin. That's for the monk, which is a class I don't like at all. The Barbarian Outlander's Frenzy. Channels powers similar to Barbarian's Tremendous Rage, increasing attack speed, might, and constitution, while lowering deflection and concealing the character's endurance and health. Which is a really cool ability. Basically, it's the ability to rage. Magic Missiles from a Wizard, which is actually not a bad ability. 3 missiles that do 12 to 22 damage each, with a +10 accuracy to hit versus their deflection once per encounter. I like it. This is for the Chanter, aka the Bard. This rhyme mimics the Chanter's ability to summon skeletons, though it cannot be used until some time has passed in combat and cannot be used frequently. You need 15 seconds in combat, you get to summon 2 human skeletons. It's awesome. And this one is the Ranger's ability, Runner's Wounding Shot. If successful, hobbles the target for 10 seconds and does 10 to 15 damage, plus 80% damage deflected over time. Now, I don't actually want any of these. So we also have utility abilities, which are resistance to flame or electricity, corrosion damage, ice, faster switching of weapon types, some basic healing. Defensive abilities, like weapon and shield style, +6 shield deflection, and shield deflection bonus also applies to reflex, which is huge. Graceful retreat makes it harder for you to get hit with an attack of opportunity. Better will save, better fortitude save, better reflex, and +1 enemies engaged. That one, I don't know what that one does. I think it has to do with the fighter abilities. But we also have offensive talents. So this is weapon focus for adventurers gives me a +6 accuracy with things like the poleaxe, the Estok, which I don't know what an S-stock is. The flail, the wand, and the warbow. The knight gets the battle axe, sword, Morning Star, and crossbow. Noble gets dagger, rapier, mace, scepter, and rod. I don't know why they have some of these set up the way they do. The peasant gets hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow, and unarmed. Ruffian gets the saber, the stiletto, the club, the pistol, and the blunderbuss. The soldier gets the greatsword, the pike, the warhammer, the arbalist, and the arquebus. Arquebus? I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. I know it's an Italian word. Marksman, +5 actually against distance enemies. 2-weapon style, +20% dual attack speed. One-handed style, 15% of hits converted to crits with one-handed melee attacks. That is huge. Because that means that 50% of all the hits you will make are just automatically crits. That's massive. Two-handed style is just a flat 15% damage. It's all very, very nice. And I don't know which one I want. But I have to pick one of them. Because I literally cannot continue on without picking one. So I'm going to think about it for a second. So originally, when I first did this game, I was going to be using great swords, two-handed weapons, lots of big damage. But the more I think about it, Ruthacon Doyne is a fencer. He's a great swordsman. So we're going to go with weapon-focused noble. That's +6 accuracy with the dagger, the rapier, the mace, the scepter, and the rod. I think that seems appropriate for the character. We'll see if we can get him a fancy hat later. Now, all this stuff changes. I have major fatigue, which is -20 accuracy, -25 maximum endurance. Thankfully, I have camping supplies. And I get a variety of options on what I want to get. I can get movement bonus, heal multiplier, let's see, +1 move speed, +20% healing received, or damage reduction, which we'll go with the damage reduction. And it lasts a number of rests before it wears off. There we go. It says right there, damage reduction +1. Now, I don't think there's anything around here for... Oh, I can get plants. Plants are useful. I think you can use them in crafting. I know you can make potions. What the shit? That would be someone being stretched on a rack. Apparently no one does expect the Inquisition, including them. Hell, I didn't expect it, and I've actually played this part before, and it still surprised the crap out of me. And then there's these poor bastards. So, vessel flesh. That's an ingredient, and I'm actually really curious about what the hell it is. This reeking flesh once held a bound soul. With energy fading, this flesh is entering a rapid decay. That's disturbing. Glad we had that little talk. Pilgrim's Crown. Vessel flesh. And that would be someone being ready to be burned at the fricking stake. What the hell is wrong with people? Okay, more vessel flesh. Yay! Huh. Alright, so I'll make sure we got everything. And let's go check this thing out. This massive structure is formed of stone, adra, and copper, and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with unusual energy. Yeah, no idea. Absolutely no friggin' idea what happened there. But now we can move on to the Valewood. And it will take 6 hours to complete your journey from Salant Lys to Valewood. Now that's actually important because fatigue... When I started playing this, I was really curious as to why they had travel times. Well, I don't think it actually affects how the game plays out, but it will affect how long it takes before you start getting fatigue factors. Okay, leather armor and more camping supplies. Thank you, good sir. I'll just take that. Don't remember that happening before. I'm wondering if this game has a certain randomness to it. I don't know if, items that are found in chests are universal. Like, the stuff I got out of the first little dungeon is stuff that I got before.
Be quiet.
But that might just be because it's the very beginning of the game, and I don't know if that's universal or not. Shh. Another guy just ran past. No idea what's going on. Actually, I wonder if that's his body right there. I don't know. I can't seem to interact with it at all. This is weird.
Let's go.
Let's get that bandit. Hello, bandit. Yeah, thanks to my fighter recovery ability, I actually regain endurance faster than he can hurt me. Or she, this case might be. Had a sword, shield, leather armor, helmet, and copper. I think these are the same things that they had before. Pretty sure.
Let's
And
go.
there be wolves. I'm doing pretty good damage to him, though.
Let's go.
Now, I think once I have some additional party members, it'll be useful to use a two-handed weapon, but right now the shield is a great
Let's
help.
go. Let's go.
Would be really nice to have knockdown right about now, though, just to give me some combat options. Bad dog. Play dead. Okay, 3 wolf hides, 5 copper pieces apart.
Keeping quiet.
Okay, that's new. So I guess it is randomized. Let's see. +2 perception, valued at 410. Amulets are most often gems, medallions, or other items worn around the neck. While some serve a purely ornamental purpose, many are imbued with charms and spells that aid the wearer. Torques are stiff rings worn around the neck. Like amulets, they often have magical properties. So +2 perception. Interesting. What is my perception at right now? Oh, actually, probably help if I grabbed this stuff. There, dum-dum. My perception is 13. And if I put the torque on as opposed to the cloak, means I lose my fancy little cloak, but that's okay. That puts me at +15 interrupt, +5 actually, +10 reflex. I honestly think that's better for the time being. Alright. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Let's examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Scale the wall, and I can't get up there. If I had a higher athletics skill, and athletics of about 5, I could actually do it, but I've only got a 3. Thankfully, I know someone that actually has a 5. It's just a matter of actually getting to him. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Well
Nod
met,
10.
friend.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. "Greetings," he says, a little breathless. "On your way south, is it?" He wipes his brow, turning to face you. "The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think." Ah. What's your hurry? Man looks down at the tent, then at his hands. I mean to follow my own advice. Came out here on a hunt, me and a friend of mine. Thought we'd bring a stag home, eat something other than bread for once. Came upon a bear instead. Great monstrous thing. And Pearly, he didn't make it. He shakes his head. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest story has cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Where did you find this bear? In a cave. A ways up that way. He points to the northwest. Wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It's a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear it took another life. Hey. What happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. Naughton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles, and we went tearing off after it. He all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose. He smiles sadly. And this time, Galloway's favor fell upon the bear. And you are? Name's Naughton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. His face twists. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. Very well. Get us some river reeds. I am missing something. Ah, here we go. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbage, potatoes, and squash have been overturned and abandoned. We've got a scroll of Tanglefoot, which I need a lore of 2 to use, some camping supplies, and silver lusky. If anybody knows how to pronounce that, let me know, because I have no clue. Alright, there's the bandit. Where were your mates at? Ah, there we go. And a touch more salt.
Steady does it.
How long is it going to take to make some damn stew? I love these guys. Don't rush me. You have to let the meat absorb the flavor. I'll be absorbing the sharp end of my dagger if you don't hurry up. I think they're hungry. Would you gentlemen be willing to talk? The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs. Make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help me. Ah! One of the bandits gives Tenforth a kick as they pass him and he huddles. Odd that we know his name. Outlaw, bandit, and bandit. Let's start with you. So yeah, they can do a small amount of hit point damage to me, but my endurance comes back so quick they're never going to be able to take me down. And they are missing a lot, too. That shield is working out really well for me. And the bonus to my perception for the extra deflection. If you'd like to kill this guy, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Let's
Alright. I think 2 more hits ought to do it. No. Yeah, near death. Oh, good lord, that was a massive crit. Yeah, just not doing a lot. Unfortunately, like I said, this is the downside to this. Alright,
Good day,
Tenforth.
stranger.
By the flame. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in the Gilded Vale, stop by the Blackhound Inn. I'll let Posca know just what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my oven again. I've gotten a reputation. Now, this is one of the things I really like about this game so far. You've earned a reputation. Reputations can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach, and will affect how members of that group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your affiliations. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. Harming a group will increase your negative reputation. It is possible to have a mix of positive and negative reputation with a group if you help and harm them in equal measure. Kind of like how the faction stuff worked for Fallout New Vegas. So we've got a hunting bow, a hatchet, small shield, leather armor, a cape, which doesn't do anything, a hood, some fruit, lockpicks, silver, and copper. Take all that. And this guy that got chunked over here had 2 daggers, leather armor, mead, that's new, +1 damage reduction for 5 minutes, and more copper pieces.
Nice and slow.
Alright, let's see if there's anything hidden around here for us. We've got fruit. The tent is empty but for a pair of stained cots and the stink of unwashed bodies. Lovely. We've got a stiletto. Fast one-handed. 10 to 15 pierce damage, and it's got damage reduction, which is a mouthful. Similar to daggers, but differ subtly in their shape and function. Made for penetrating armor, stilettos feature a stiff, piercing blade that resembles a shrunken estoc. Estocs? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Though they are not powerful weapons, they can strike deadly blows rapidly against a lightly armored opponent. And it ignores 3 damage reduction. We've got some rice, some meat, poultry, and more silver fennings. And I think that's vegetables. Alright, cool. And this is where I want to get to. I want to get to this guy. But it's just not going to happen for now. I want to check something, though. My noble weapons. Dagger, rapier. Okay. Doesn't include the stiletto. I didn't actually think I saw one for the stiletto. Okay. Really, I think as far as I know, the only other thing here is the Bear's Cave up in the northeast here. Yeah. We're not going to deal with that right now. Gilded Vale. If you've ever seen the movie The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio, fight either. It's like, oh, look, soft pink thing. Let me just peel you out of your scale armor and have my lunch. Anyway, here we are. If there was a way I could close this. Alright, let's get rid of our fast movement here. Such a nice town I've wandered into. Like the opening town from the first episode of Berserk.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
He glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn, just southwest of here.
Yeah. Have you ever had a Hollowborn child? Yeah, nope, sorry. No gingers in my family tree. Might be a couple hanging from yours, though. Been feeling strange ever since a close call with a Baywick. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
This guy is just a prince among men. I bet he's the most popular person in town. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understands our rules. You said something about Hollowborn and Wadewind's legacy before. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they're a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. They began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Wadwin's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Lord Radric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart, he nods. Yeah, I can see he's really added to the decoration and the decor of the place. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. He regards you carefully. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Engwithan ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People try anything these days. Barath have mercy. We certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a Baywick. He polishes his spectacles on his sleeve. If you've been that close to a Baywick, you wouldn't be standing here. Well, fuck you too, pal.
Keep out of...
Uh-oh.
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, having a child with red hair and freckles could be very disruptive. Don't threaten me, little man. It is no threat, only a warning. Lord Radric will tolerate no threats to his kin or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him any more docile. What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy is struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you get some rest. The inn or stable, for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Very well. And Eder.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Strange way to talk about your dead. Half the town's up there now, seems like. No right way to talk about it. Looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers, and notes half erased by the rain. Look at all these frickin' people. It's like, seriously, what the hell is wrong with this town? Anything else to say? The man smiles broadly. Welcome to our lovely village. Such a winning town. You know, I love the pig, I do, but the pig needs to go. I can't. Sorry, fella. Things are bound to get worse now. What's the villagers say? Nope. Oh, damn it. Ah, here we go. Don't be stupid. They can't possibly get any worse. The crops are blighted. The legacy is upon us. This place is cursed. Very well possibly could be. Ah, here we go. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Everyone calm down. Whatever this is about, I'm sure it's an overreaction. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. We're humble folk, but we're no fools. Not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in our village. We don't take that kind of talk from foreigners, especially not Adrians. Adirans? Ah, crap.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
There's something wrong with this guy, and I still haven't figured out what it is, but he's
That's
nuts.
where you're wrong.
This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. I squint at you through red, bleary eyes. Sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Oh, god damn it. Well, welcome to the town. See the sights, see the trees, see the people hanging from the trees, and the people that are about to be buried underneath it. Oh, Jesus, God. That was a tad overkill. As the last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean slaughtering them? You're welcome.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travels, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
You better have more to say for yourself than that. Please. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land.
While picking up the dialect of a Welsh fishmonger's wife.
And how exactly did you come to be here?
Well, I was traveling with the caravan, but I got the trots, and we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. Half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious. What exactly did you find there?
A Baywick?
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
And just how did you manage to cross those 3 drunks? I should say those 3 corpses.
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Well, you did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. It happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. Except I heard it too. For just a moment, he looks like he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief. But before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. Should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. And so it is a fine, well-educated, well-dressed, or at least formerly well-dressed elf doing in Gilded Vale.
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Oh, very much so. Like you said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization.
Yeah, and we're wanted killers at this point. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
I have to agree. And a wizard would be useful in our journey. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Alright, so let's loot these poor fucks. A club, a dagger, clothing, some money, and some money, and some money. Yeah, well, thank you for that at least. Now, Aloth. I love Aloth. Very good intelligence. No negatives, which is nice. Does 10 to 15 damage with melee weapons. 25 actually, which is nice. Defenses are pretty good. 6 damage reduction. What is this? Damage reduction 6. This one I don't understand. It's damage reduction 9 here. It says 6 from Aloth's armor, 50% armor efficiency. And he gets 3? Corrosive minus 50% armor efficiency. I don't know what that means, to be completely honest. But he can use level 3 scrolls with a lore of 7. He's a little bit of mechanics. No stealth or anything like that. And his armor, which I'll have to click on in a second, gives him plus 10 area of effect. So an area of effect spell is just a little bit bigger with him. He's got a blinding spell, a flame area of effect spell, a paralyzation spell, a direct damage magic missile spell, and basically mirror image. And his talent is blast. I rather like this one. 6 to 10 damage, ignores 5% of damage reduction. Generates a blast on the target when using a wand, rod, or scepter, doing a modest amount of damage to all enemies in a small group around the target. Now, the reason I like this is that it's faux area of effect, which means that it only affects enemies, no chance of friendly fire. Now, where's this bastard's armor? There we go. Yeah, it's for some odd reason it's only got 1 enchantment on it, which is the overseeing ability. I don't know why he takes that penalty to corrode. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But he's got a scepter, which is basically a really, really big magic wand, and he's got a rapier. And he's really better off with the scepter. We do not want this guy getting anywhere into hand-to-hand combat. But he's also just got a regular cloak, so guess what? There. You can use that one. And his spell book, which can hold 4 spells per level. This hood, which doesn't do a damn thing. So now that we've met the local color and killed them, and Aloth is given a chance to complain about the watered-down wine and the lumpy beds, it's a good way to end this. I have no idea how long I've been playing. And here's Pasca.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome to the innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you. Tenfrith told us what you did for him. Such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Yeah. This is actually, you get the quest from her, and I just happened to trigger it early. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenspris said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen, she laughs. So, what would you like? Let's see what you have for sale. I'm sure you'll find something you're liking. We have the finest cook in the Deerwood. Got plenty of experience for that, too. Now, she doesn't sell any weapons or armor. There's actually an armory for that, but she will buy stuff. But you have a couple of different types of rooms. This one, which is expensive, gets you +2 resolve for two rests. This gets you +1 perception, +1 mechanics for 2 rests. And the common room, which is free. Can grant you nothing, but it's free. We can hire an adventurer and spec him out however we like. We have the option of different types of food, potions, and supplies, along with some crafting supplies that we can use to make our own stuff. This is for retraining, so if I want to put Arutha into a two-handed weapon build, I can do it. Not going to do it yet, though. And party management allows you to... these slots are for members that you can... or for spots that you can put party members in, and anybody left over would be in this little area right here where it says no companions available to hire, and you can just switch them back and forth. But I think we could use an adventurer. Why is it doing something? There we go. And I will let you know what the finished product looks like. Alrighty. So, let's introduce you to Jira. She is a Hearth Orlin rogue. Max Dex, good perception, good intelligence, everything else is low. And she's got a pretty good mechanic skill. I'm going to have to at some point retrain Arutha, get rid of his mechanics and his stealth, and just pump everything into survival and athletics. I'm guessing maybe lore, because I can pick up some good scrolls for him. Regardless, let's take a look at her real quick. She's got scale mail armor, which gives her minus 35% recovery speed. She's got a saber and a dagger, and I think we can do one better than that. I like the look of that quite a bit. And sorry, I swear there's my stiletto. I was like, I knew I had one somewhere. Okay, let's set those up as your backup weapons, and let's get you, let's see, crossbow does 18 to 26, but it's slow. Hunting bow is 10 to 15, and it's fast. A lot of hunting bows, now that I think about it. So I got that bloody mace. 1826. I think we're gonna go with the crossbow. That's her primary. Get the range, get that nice stealth attack damage in off the bat. She's very accurate with it. And I think she needs a cloak. There we go. I dig it. Alright, so nap time will have to wait after I level up, of course. So no more into mechanics. Let's put athletics, survival, and I guess we'll hold on to that point. It saves. Now, I can get knockdown, which is very useful. 2 uses, gives you damage, knocks target down. Defender, how's engagement work? Okay. Yeah, so basically the number of targets I'm engaged against, if any of them run off, I get an attack of opportunity. It's alright. Confident aim. 20% of grazes convert into hit, plus 20 minimum damage, which is not bad. And Guardian Stance, which is plus 10 deflection, minus 10 accuracy. Don't care for that. We are going to take knockdown, however, because it's a great ability to have. And it gives us something to do other than simply stabbing things, which is fairly important in my opinion. You need to be back there. So, just like that. There we go. Alright. You're like freaking 4 custom. Nope, never mind. You can only have 2. Didn't know that. Good to know. Alright, so that takes care of all of that. I'm happy to say. You're aggressive, you defend self, yay. I will see you guys next time, and we'll give Jura here a chance to prove her worth. See if we can go pick a fight with something. See you guys next time. Peace.